Um, Next up, we have, and I don't know how she's made it here in time because she has been teaching from 10 till 11 this morning. So she's just finished teaching and then jumped in. So I would like to say a special thank you to Zita for sparing the time to jump in and talk to us today. And she is going to be talking about personalizing student feedback and audio helps. So yeah, if you've had time to catch your breath, Zita, over to you.
Thank you very much, Phil. Good morning to everybody. Phil, thank you for organising this fantastic event and for inviting me to talk. Yes, just finished teaching, and I feel always when I finish teaching, I'm on a high. So I'll try to calm down. Students were absolutely amazing. Week 11, they are worried about deadlines, but yeah, they're very much with us. So I hope you can see my presentation okay. And yes, I'll be talking about audio feedback, how I used it in the past, and how this year the blended approach has made me to rethink and how to use it even further. I hope you find it useful. So why introducing this change, the change to the traditional written narrative type of feedback? What made me think about this? Well, firstly, no need to say, the ongoing dissatisfaction with the student feedback, and not necessarily with my module, but in my role of Director of Education, of course, NSS, but also undergraduate surveys, but even for postgraduate, it's something that we seem to be being hit. And oh my goodness, your feedback is too vague, it's too generic, it's discouraging, it's not positive enough, it's either too long or it's too short. We seem to not to be getting the length right. Does not actually explain the mark. Does not show or tell what I can improve on. It's just not constructive enough. And what really hit me was when they say it does not feel like it is for me. And yes, the one with the burden and inevitably then leading to sometimes, unfortunately, being late. So that was the first reason. Staying with the deadlines, again, very important. And I was trying to think about a more effective approach, how I could connect with students whilst retaining the quality of the feedback. And we have worked on narratives and make sure that we always start with all the positives and then go on to how things can be improved, always addressing the comments of our external examiners, that even for students who are reaching the top levels, the distinctions, always even say to them how they can improve on. So all this has happened. So I thought whatever I change it to, I have to preserve the quality and make sure that it's there. I ultimately was also looking to improve pedagogic practice. So there is always that discussion of how to create a link in a timely manner. So there is that adequate time gap between formative and summative assessment. And I felt, how can I give them feedback quicker that would then be there in time for their summative assessments. Another reason was I really wanted to look at and bring in the experience that I have during seminars like now, or even student consultation hours, where I feel personal. I never had a student who would say, leave the consultation hour or office hour and say, ugh. You know, they leave and I make sure they are positive. Are you clear? You know, did you get an answer? Is it? Do you now know how to proceed with the report? And that is in a synchronous manner. And we have 2 office hours or consultation hours a week, and I can't give that. But finding it in a asynchronous way, that I felt, you know, given that personalised way would help. And finally, and being a mum to a teenager, I felt, well, somehow I need to find a way how to connect better with this YouTube and headphones generation. Watching short videos, that's what they seem to link with, and students walking around with their headphones. So perhaps I thought if I play with it and use audio feedback, maybe perhaps I can think naively that they are even listening to my feedback, not just their favorite music. So that is why, what were the sort of reasons behind it. Now, there are different versions, and what I will be really saying and coming to, but it is the mix of the different types of feedback that I still use. But just to recap, narrative feedback is still there, and students can get it via the annotations in the text or use of rubrics, because of course they can read and they can see and assess the quality and make sure there is a link between what they read and the mark that they received. And this is also good for stage 1 students, where we need to, make sure the annotations are there. So for assignments with formatting, outline, or academic issues, where they need to practice, for example, these, or there are referencing concerns. So we would be embedding comments in Feedback Studio via quick marks, and that helps. The quick marks are speeding up the process. But then really, audio is very useful for providing a quick feedback. So I either do it via Feedback Studio, and you go into Feedback Summary and then use the voice comment. And it's only 3 minutes maximum what you can use, but it's actually enough. You'd be surprised how much you can say in 3 minutes. Or in Moodle assignments, if it is a submission that doesn't need that Turnitin score, and this could be presentations, where there is also that voice recording option. And it's also, I would say, better for larger classes. The video, which is something that I'm playing more this year and sort of testing, is really if I want to show multiple steps, or if I'm trying to provide one-to-one consultation, or even give feedback to a group as a whole. So I do this via Panopto recording, and again, not too long, because I feel I would lose them. And again, in 3 to 5 minutes, I can say quite a lot, and either in groups or smaller classes is probably more appropriate. So just what it looks like, and you might be familiar. So in the Feedback Studio, of course, under the Feedback Summary, there is the voice comment. You just start recording, and the 3 minutes will be there. What then students will see is they just click on it and they can listen to the recording. Now, I still, and this is a sort of where I can standardize and save time and personalize it still. So I would make there a comment, which is a copy and paste, which is very quick and effective. And I would point out to the student there in a personalized manner. I would look up, who is it? Okay, Sarah. Please listen to my recorded feedback on your work via the above voice comment, but also look at the annotations that I made within your report, and also use the attached rubric for more feedback and to understand your mark. So I'm not putting more, I'm not wasting or spending more time on the summary, because they have the recording, but I also bring them to the point of go to your annotations, and we are putting annotations still. Our external examiners require that as evidence that the whole work has been read and marked, and we are using rubrics as well.
2 minutes left, Zita.
Thank you. And then, of course, via Moodle assignments, and this is feedback on presentation, and you can see there how you can attach a Panopto presentation. And then you can see myself giving feedback there to students via Panopto as well. Now, the audio and video feedback, what it really helps, and I found out it helps go through the assignment to provide detailed, sort of more one-to-one support and build closer connection with my students. It allows time to say about more about the annotations. So if there is a frequent problem with references, I can just correct the problem, and which the annotations or the written comment doesn't give me. I can identify the depth or level of problem. But this year I have used, because of the blended approach, the asynchronous yet personal approach to other things. I have used a summary feedback on assignment for the whole cohort. So I will give them, after every presentation, I will give a summary, and I say there is the recording for everybody to see what's gone wrong. I will even explain a task. So I will provide a slide, and I will go through the task and provide a 2-3 minutes video and say, this is exactly what I mean by choose a company, what type of company, etc. I teach in international business. I have also used Panopto this year to provide guidance to colleagues for teaching teams, preparations. So rather than type up... Sorry? Oh, okay, it was somebody. So I've gone crazy, and I've just started using Panopto, and I find it really efficient rather than keep typing. And lessons learned for me. So I tend to provide actually more feedback than written text alone, and in less time. Productivity that I'm gaining, I'm using on the preparation of material and try to keep up with everything else. And I also am able to demonstrate process and communicate exactly where an error has occurred, so students can see, provide that one-to-one experience. I can avoid miscommunication. I felt that sometimes the comments would come too harsh, and they would say, but I came to your consultation time and I did it, but in a written feedback, I can't say that. But in a audio feedback, I can say, we did discuss this during your consultation time, but you still didn't quite do it. This is the reason, which of course it's very difficult to do in a written feedback. Even humor, I can just say, but you talk about it and we still are not quite there. And I believe it's positive. Blended approach is real. A real person giving feedback. That's what students say. And there is a reduced need for consultation time. So students do not feel they need to come so much to my consultation synchronous time, because they have that asynchronous, a real person. I started saying losses, but I scratched it out. I can't see any losses per se. It's more to a few notes to self. So it's a learning curve, and to start with, I thought I'll just use every tool possible, and Phil would then say, no, you have Panopto for that. No, you can just use Panopto for that. So fewer tools. And also I try to maybe overcomplicate, so re-record, worry about everything. But actually students were not wowed by my feedback or video if the message wasn't clear, or if it took me too long to produce. So the effectiveness of it is there. It's
Zita,
still
we're slightly over time now. I'm so sorry.
Just finishing. I'll quickly finish.
Okay.
So may I just very quickly?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So still follow a structure. Do not scroll down as you are recording, because students can get confused. So still follow a structure in your feedback. That's what I found. And yeah, do not just use the tool for the sake of using it. Good feedback should be specific, balanced, and timely. And yeah, I'm still using a combination of everything. Doesn't have to be perfect. There, finished there. Sorry, Phil. Thank you.
No, that's okay. Thank you, Zita. Thank you. Nick, do we have any questions? I think we've got time for one question. If there are any in the chat.
I don't think there's any that have not been answered, but I have one. And that is, how did you gather feedback from the students as to how they were kind of receiving these different methods of feedback that you were giving them?
So prior to this year, blended approach, I used it and didn't really, apart from module evaluations or ad hoc informal student feedback, it wasn't something that I would take seriously enough to see the productivity gain. So I saw it as something that I could look into. This year I'm using it more on modules, and of course I'm teaching 30 credit long modules, so I do not have any specific evidence, just anecdotal, what students are saying, how they were referred to it as an example in the student voice forum, saying, for example, in this module, and this is so helpful. So it's that qualitative feedback that I have, because it's really this blended approach made me use it more.
Yeah, no, that sounds great. Cool, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and we are bang on time now. So yeah, that's great. Thank you, Zita. Thank you so much. I know Zita's got to dash off not that long, because I think she's teaching again. So very busy. So thank you, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.